Are we instruments of our own demise? We have more than enough enemies. And now, when you look out and about in society, it seems that we have become our own worst enemy. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Before You Do with Verlyn. I'm your favorite premarital coach and the auntie you didn't know you needed. Thank you for joining me today. When we look around, we can see more than enough enemies. And I mean those who are working against us today and who have always been working against us. We can look back to the 60s and we can see where all of the jobs that our people had were pushed out of the city, and those jobs were replaced with drugs. And then in the 70s, they pushed the fathers out of the homes and they replaced our fathers with welfare and food stamps and all that entails. All right. And then we see where the feminists tricked us by claiming that we needed to fight for equality and fairness. And now here we are in 2026. In the middle of a gender war. Clearly, we don't need any more enemies. What we need to do at this point is to be teachable by the right ones. We need to be lending our ear to women who truly care about our culture, our collective, and our community. We don't need to be fixated on men who are looking for the same thing that we're looking for, as in a man. We don't need to lend our ear to any more angry, unhealed women, even if that includes celebrities who are still moving in these angry and hurt places. It doesn't matter about the influence. What matters is who you lend your ear to, all right? We need to get back to faith. I'm not talking about getting into a church building per se. I'm not talking about any particular religion. What I'm talking about is faith as an accountability to a higher power than ourselves, the accountability to our Creator that we serve, and that causes us to treat each other honorably and to put family first instead of things and money, but cause us to keep in the forefront our culture, our community, and our collective instead of choosing to collect and chase the dollar and chase the bag so that we can appear affluent in the eyes of other people who don't even care about us. And while we're doing this, our family and our culture continues to suffer. We don't have anything to prove to anybody. What we need to do is to ensure the future of our posterity. We need to keep them safe spiritually, mentally, emotionally, academically, and physically. These are the things that we need to focus on. Again, we have more than enough enemies, all right? And to have to fight against each other, again, are we being used as instruments to our own demise? We have to really sit and think about that. In these spaces, I have an ear to what's going on in our community. And it's sad because so many things that I see in our community, I don't see going on in other communities. And I say this and I say it constantly because it is true. We have to wake up. And I'm not saying we need to be fixated on what other communities are doing, but we have to see why it is that there's such negativity going on amongst ourselves. All right. Ladies, we have listened long enough to the feminists whose agenda was different for us. And I know I'm reading this book. I don't have it. I have it behind me. I don't want to turn around. But it's a book that delves into the true feminist movement, and what it did to us is not the same. But that's another podcast for another day. I promise you. I am reading this book. And oh, bro, it's going to knock your socks off. This feminist agenda pulled the wool over our eyes. Like Malcolm X said, I wish I could remember. He said, you've been hoodwinked, run amok, led astray, bamboozled, tricked. Let me tell you, the agenda was not for us to get anything positive. That feminist agenda did not do anything good for us as melanated women. All right. That feminist agenda caused us to dismiss our own men, to compete with them instead of build with them. That same feminist agenda taught us that our femininity was weak and that we had to be masculine. Why? Because we had to protect ourselves. We became our own protector. We became our own hero. Who else is doing that? They taught us to despise our own men instead of adore and respect them. And you see it being played out in big ways today with the so-called soft life and how we can't be with our own if we want a soft life. Think about it. This is a skill we need to employ, and it's called thinking critically at what we see and what we hear instead of jumping on the bandwagon of whatever is popular. Because it's popular doesn't mean it's right. Because it's popular doesn't mean it's even right for you. Let a man examine himself and his own situation. Let a woman examine herself and her own situation. And we need to stop just jumping on the treadmill with every trend that we see. And ask yourself, is this working towards our own demise? And within this fighting and who should be with who if they want a soft life and dismiss your own race. And now our men are showing, I'm not going to say they are getting angry. They are voicing their anger. They are voicing their disappointment and their hurt, and they are speaking up. Are we hearing them? Are we hearing them? I would say no. Instead of listening to our men voicing their concerns, voicing their anger and their disappointment, we are lending our ears to the effeminate man, the non-masculine men who are looking for a man just like you. Why would I want to listen to a man who's looking and competing to get a man like women are? What are we doing here? What is the fixation on these non-masculine men? No, they cannot tell you how to be a woman, and they are a man. They cannot teach you how to be a lady to attract a man. It is beyond me why we are fixated on them. If anything, they are your competition. Hello, think about it. These effeminate men who are looking for heterosexual men now, all right? We've been hearing about this. They are the competition, as if we needed that. As if we need men going after our men. What are we doing? How can this positively affect our culture, our community, and our collective? What is it that a man who wants to look and be like a woman tell us about being an approachable woman to a real man? How can a confused man teach us how to be ladies? Furthermore, why would we not want to listen to strong masculine men who can tell us what other strong masculine men want from women? We really need to rethink who we are listening to. Who are you lending your ear to? We need to stop supporting these so-called gender fluid males who are telling you that they want your straight men. What's going on with that? How is this advancing our community, our collective? How is it pushing us forward? Tell me, please. Or again, is it another instrument for our demise? Can someone tell me where this nonsense is going on in any other culture? If you can name me a person and their culture and how they are putting this out there, put it in the comments. I'd be curious to know, because I certainly have not seen it. You have to open your eyes to what's really going on. Ladies, follow someone who has met the goal that you are looking to meet. All right? Follow women of wisdom who have what you're looking for. I'm out and about, and I'm asking myself, where is our discipline as a people, as a culture? And I'm saying this because it doesn't matter if I'm picking up my son, I'm waiting for him to come off of work, or I'm sitting in the hardware store waiting on my husband. When I'm out and about in different places, I am people watching, okay? And what I see, no matter where I am, is that we as a people are so overweight and even obese. What is happening with us? When I observe where I am, I can tell you probably 95% of us are overweight. And I'm not saying I've taken a poll. I'm saying if I'm sitting outside the grocery store waiting for my husband to come out, or I'm sitting outside of where my son works, watching people coming in and out, all of the places where I run errands and I frequent, I'm looking and I'm saying, oh my gosh, what is going on with us? Typically, when you're obese, overweight, that puts us in a high-risk category for diseases. That's not me saying that. It is what it is, okay? And so when I'm in a grocery store and I see a cart behind me or in front of me and I see it's full of what? Beer, soda, junk food, pork. What are we doing to ourselves? We are being used as instruments in our own demise because not only are we ladies, we're saying we want to be married, we want to be approached, but we're overweight, we're obese. When you're eating the junk food, it causes you to think junk thoughts, all right? What's the saying? You are what you eat. And so if you're eating junk food, all the sodas and cookies and candies and snacks and pork and meat, you have to consider how is that affecting your cognitive ability along with your physical body and how you look and how you are presented, your presentation. All of these things matter, whether it's your teeth being rotted out by the soda and the junk food, the extra weight, the cognitive decline, and now on top of that, bad health, diabetes, cancer, all of these things that are associated with being overweight. We must get our discipline back as a culture, as a collective. Ladies, we have to get out and walk. We have to put away all of these foods that are damaging our health, our brains, every part of our lives. You have to see the conspiracy. Foreign carryouts, fast food everywhere because they know we have lost control. And if they put it out there, we're going to eat it. You know what? We do have control. We can control what goes into our mouth and we can control what goes out. All right? Let me say that again. We can control what goes into our mouth and we can control what comes out of our mouth. It's a matter of wanting to get our discipline back. We have lots of stuff going on with chemtrails and all the other things that happen that we cannot control, right? What's being put in water and all the other alleged things. I can't say, oh yeah, I can prove this or I can prove that. If you're smart, you know how things work. All right. So I won't belabor that point. Again, we have to get our discipline back. We have to be willing to control what it is that we can control. I could go on, but for now, I'm going to stop. And I'm pretty sure I'll come back with a part 2 because there's so much that we have to think about. There's so much that we have to have a conversation with our friends, with our families, with our children, because we have to start being better and thinking better and not being instruments to our own demise. We have to find ways to come back together, to build each other up. We should not be at war with each other. We should be building together. And here's the thing, we have solutions. We have to take back our discipline and our self-control. We have to reconsider what voices we're listening to. We have to come together, stay together, build together, and most importantly, return to faith and prayer. Thank you for joining this conversation. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share this out and get this out to at least 3 or 4 people. That would be greatly appreciated. Visit my website, verlyntarlton.com, and pick up your freebies. And again, I'm working on a group so that ladies will be seen and approached. In the meantime, may you experience extraordinary love. Bye for now.